Okay, this is the second time I'm shooting this video. I shot it yesterday, but I came up with somewhere around 15 minutes worth of footage and nothing that I could cut off. And so, because I thought it was too long, I said that I was going to do it again. Consider this as the video which kind of restarts my YouTube channel, and also something that tells you, or a video in which I tell you what I've been up to in the past period. So what does this mean? Because a lot of people don't have the context. So for the people who don't know what I've been up to, I've recently launched a remote jobs board for Romania, first and foremost. And it's been like a month or so since I launched it, and I promised in my LinkedIn posts and while talking to people on LinkedIn that I would come back with some numbers and talk about how the platform is performing in terms of numbers. To make this story short and concise, I'm gonna tell you about the number of unique visitors since I launched it, the number of sessions, page views, I believe, and I'm gonna talk about the size of the newsletter, so how many newsletter subscribers the platform got and how many jobs have been published on the platform. So the platform is called WeRemote.ro, and I launched it, as I said, a month ago. I think it was April 24, if I'm not mistaken. And up until this point, it got tremendous traction, at least compared to my expectations, because I wasn't particularly expecting it to be very popular. So up until now, I'm just looking at the numbers over here, which I wrote because I cannot live without pen and paper. The platform got 4,243 unique visitors, and this is at the time of this recording, which is May 16. Yep, I'm not mistaken. So 4,243 unique visitors, 5,597 sessions, and people spent on average 1 minute and 14 seconds on site. As for the newsletter size, it actually got pretty big compared to, let's say, even my personal newsletter, my personal website newsletter. It got to 300. It was 314 when I wrote it down, but right now it's at 315 newsletter subscribers. I've yet to send any newsletter, mostly because I've been focusing on, let's say, stabilizing the platform, so to speak, because I launched it in like I worked on it on a fast pace, and as soon as I got an initial version of the platform, I published it and I asked for feedback. And so the platform right now, as you see it, is at its I think it's the third UI that it got. Like, it started way differently, and I have a LinkedIn post which is written in Romanian, but if feedback comes around and people ask me to also write it in English, I will definitely translate it. I will add it to the comment section or to the description, depending on where you're watching this video. I'll add the link to the article. But as I said, the UI is at its third version, if I'm correct. I'll have to check. So as soon as I had an initial version, I put it up online. I asked for feedback. People were amazing. Like, I got around 50, like in the initial feedback round, I got around 54 people contributing, giving advice from people ranging from product designers, QA people, web developers or mobile developers who offered their services, basically wanting to contribute and work for free on the platform. And after that initial round of feedback where 54 people helped me out, helped me shape the platform, on subsequent posts about what I've been doing and about the progress, I've got like tremendous feedback in terms of comments, in terms of people filling up Google Forms, which I used to collect and process feedback, and it was way beyond my expectations. But I will talk in detail about what was my approach in developing this remote jobs platform in a later video, mostly because there's a lot to talk about and I don't want to make this video long, as I said. Basically, after one of the things that I'm going to mention, and then I'm going to wrap up with the job board. One of the things that I did after I officially launched it on April 24th, after collecting feedback and re-implementing certain areas, was to add a WYSIWYG editor, or what you see is what you get editor, for Markdown, because I figured that the majority of people who will post jobs on the platform will be either HR people, QA. I've even had QA, like literally today someone posted a job and they were a QA engineer at a startup. So HR people, recruiters, headhunters, people who don't normally use Markdown in their day-to-day work. So one of the problems people had when posting on the platform was that their descriptions looked like crap because they didn't know Markdown. So I added something that when you paste Markdown in that editor, you see kind of how the description will look like when it will get published on the platform. And one of the other things that I implemented, that I added, was an extra step before posting to the platform, in the sense that in its initial version you would be able to just fill up the form with the job description and everything and just submit it and it would get published on the platform. But because some people were abusing it, I added an extra email confirmation step. So when you post the job, you get an email on the email address that you specified, and you get a custom link that when you click on, it basically confirms that you have access to that email, you have ownership of it, and it triggers the build process of the job board because it's a static site. It's built with Gatsby, and the job gets published in about 2 minutes on the platform. Enough about WeRemote. Besides the fact that right now we're at currently 8 jobs posted that I have no tie to. I did not go and talk to people like, hey, could you please post your jobs over here? Although I did talk to them via LinkedIn just to figure out whether or not there was an opportunity there to do this, but none of the jobs currently posted on the platform are posted because I asked someone to do it. Good. This is about the job board. So like I said, WeRemote.ro, and one of the biggest plans with it is to move it to WeRemote.eu. I also have that domain name. And once I do that and I translate everything to English, I'll probably convert it into a multilingual platform. So it will have English, Romanian, and other circulation, like popular languages in Europe and in the world. Like if you have English, basically almost anyone can go there and look for jobs or posts. So this is one of the biggest undertakings, to move it to .eu. And the other undertaking is this super secret mobile app. I'm mostly using this, let's say, name because I don't have a name for it. I'll most definitely create a video detailing what's this app all about, and what problem I'm planning to solve with it, because it's the same as with the job board. I love remote work. I love managing my own time and working on my own terms, and so I created a job board to scratch that itch. Well, the super secret mobile app is the same thing. I'm scratching a personal itch, problem that I have personally, and that I also see a lot of people have, especially in crowded cities. And it will be very interesting because the way I plan on testing the efficacy of the application of the project is, let's say, rather unique. It'll be fun. If you stick around, I bet you're gonna love this. It's something that I don't think someone has ever done in terms of testing the efficacy of a mobile app and the efficacy of an onboarding process, because the most important part about the mobile app is not the app itself, but the onboarding process and how quick people get on board and they understand what's the application about and how they can use it. Okay, 11 minutes, 29, 30 going. So this is it. I'm really happy that I managed to create this video and that I'm restarting everything. As I said, I have an office space. I said it in a previous video, which is not on YouTube. It's only on LinkedIn, but I have an office space, and so I'm free to create at will. Talk to you in the next one.